Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave. Welcome back to the wee hours where I suffer from periodic bouts of insomnia and play games to pass the time. We are back with Fighting Fantasy City of Thieves, and we're about to get into a fight with some of the guards because we don't have the correct pass or papers or anything. And we're running a teensy bit low on stamina. I wanted to see if the game would allow me to either do provisions or the potion of strength before we actually got in the fight. So if I say wanted to eat those provisions, yes, I would love to use that. Thank you very much. That brings us up to 11. Can I do that again? Are you going to let me do that again? Yeah, you are. Okay, cool. Cool. Excellent. All right. So before we start this fight, guards, I'm just going to have a couple of quick snacks, and then now I am ready to fight you. I am ready to fight you. Yeah, they should go down okay. We clearly outmatched them. I believe there are two of them. So yeah, let's fight these city guards. It's probably going to attract undue attention, but, there it is. There's not much we can do. Pretty much almost everyone in Port Blacksand has tried to kill us since we walked in the door. Yep, second city guard, so this will be no exception to that rule. Did he actually get a hit in on me? Yeah, he actually got a hit in. Dang, all right. That looks like a solid roll. I think we'll be able to do some good work there. This guy is a little bit stronger than the last guard, but we'll make this work, hopefully. There's not too much he's going to be able to do at this point, so he is done. All right, guards go down. Bye, guards. Yes, we have defeated the pair of guards. You make a rapid search through the guards' possessions and find 7 gold pieces, a set of keys, and a piece of stale bread. You stash the lot in your backpack and quickly set off north again. The street soon makes another sharp turn to the right, and you find yourself walking east. Outside one of the houses to your left is a pile of rubbish and broken objects. On top of the pile is a pair of old boots that look about your size. Are we really going to try on trash boots? Like, why would someone leave them in the trash? That seems to me, obviously they're probably going to be magical, but if they're thrown in the trash, are they then cursed? That would seem to make sense. I would feel they would be cursed. So I am going to not try them on. That might be a horrible mistake, and my 12-year-old brain is not helping me out here. No, my 12-year-old memory is not saying anything about the boots. So I'm going to assume just basic role-playing logic that those are cursed boots and keep walking on. If those are the best boots in the world, I'm feeling real sad about that. You arrive at a 4-way junction in the street. The street continues east. Street continuing east changes its name to Clock Street, and the street running north and south is called Market Street. And we are on Key Street right now. Looking north, you see a crowd of people walking up the street, cheering loudly and waving their arms in the air. You decide to follow them. As you catch up with the chanting crowd, you see they are carrying eggs and rotten tomatoes. Soon the street opens out into a large market square. All around the edge are stalls with vendors, hawkers, musicians, and entertainers carrying on their business. In the middle of the square is an elevated pillory. Above the noise of the crowd, a trumpet sounds. The crowd start to pelt the man in the pillory with rotten food. An old woman standing next to you offers 2 eggs to throw. Not wishing to appear to be the outsider, you take the eggs and hurl them. But as you do so, the old woman picks your pocket without you noticing. You lose 1 gold piece, and unaware of your loss, you walk away from the crowd to look at the various stalls. Well, you know what? We've actually picked up plenty of gold. I'm not super worried about 1 gold piece right now. The food stalls are selling fruit, vegetables, meat, and hot soup, corn and chestnuts for hungry shoppers. Along the west side of the square, you see a man dressed in purple velvet playing a lyre. Would you like to buy some hot food for 1 gold? We could stop and listen to the music, or if we just walk past him. No, actually, I'll take the food for 1 gold, thank you. Yes, a plate of eel pie, beans, and mash for 1 gold piece. It's a delicious meal. It doesn't actually sound that delicious, but that's fine. After licking your fingers clean of every last morsel, you feel restored. You gain 2 stamina points. Excellent. Are we going to listen to the man playing the lyre? Sure. I'm sure he'll hypnotize us and rob us and murder us, but let's listen to him. The man stops playing and tells you he can bring you good fortune. For the sum of 3 gold pieces, he will sing a song that will bring you luck. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. We've got plenty of gold. We have what? Where do we have? We have 39 gold. We're fine on gold right now. So, yeah, I don't feel that we need to be worrying about 3 gold. Sure, I'll pay him. The man strums his lyre and sings a merry song all about you and your good fortune. He does have the power to make you lucky. You gain 2 luck points and walk on to the next stall. A small circle of people are standing around a bare-chested man. He's enormous, and his muscles look as hard as iron. He's asking the crowd for a volunteer to play catch with the cannonball. He states that whomever drops the cannonball must pay the other 5 gold pieces if you wish to take him on in his game, or we could rather walk on. I'm not seeing any real benefit to doing this. I'm sure that would be based on a skill and or stamina check, and our skill is not that great. So, no, actually, we're just going to walk on. Part of my 12-year-old memory is I don't actually remember this is in any way plot critical. This is just sort of a side thing that we can do, and there's no real benefit, and we don't need the gold. So I am just going to walk on. Behind the next stall is a young man with a pointy nose selling small weapons and items of equipment. Now this is much more interesting. The price of his wares are chalked up on a slate. Would you like to buy anything from this stall? Probably. Yeah, probably. Throwing knife, a climbing rope. Can I take a closer look at the butcher's meat hook? I would actually like to take a closer look at that. Butcher's meat hook, large S-shaped metal, sharp enough to pierce a carcass. I don't know what I would do with that. An iron spike. Now, let's be brutally honest here. This is built around a fantasy concept, and I am old enough that I played the Red Box Basic Edition Dungeons & Dragons. Iron spikes, you always have iron spikes on you at all times. That's just what you do. There's always some occasion where you need an iron spike. That once belonged to the Grand Cormorant of Fang. It's a collector's item. Special price just for you, though, friend, the young man says. To your eye, it looks simply like a sharp piece of metal that might come in handy later. Yes, always buy iron spikes. What do you walk out the door with in any fantasy setting? Iron spikes, a rope, climbing rope, specially crafted for scaling surfaces, hefting the rope in your hands. You can tell is of good quality. Yes, please. Yeah, iron spike and rope. He sadly does not have a 10-foot pole for sale. Otherwise, I would totally buy that. But the throwing knife. I'm going to pass on the butcher's meat hook. I'm not really sure why I would need that for anything, but a throwing knife might come in handy. 4 gold pieces. A little pricey, but yeah, sure, I'll take that. I think those are some solid purchases for any adventurer. Yeah, we're done with him. In the next stall area, there's a small, brightly colored tent. Attached to it is a sign that reads, Madame Starr, Clairvoyant. Do we wish to enter the tent, or should we continue north? Yeah, we'll enter the tent. Let's see what Madame Starr's got going on. Sitting behind a small table is a plump woman wearing bright yellow clothes and a scarf over her head. She smiles as you enter, bidding you to sit down. She tells you that a glimpse of the future will cost you 2 gold pieces. Probably a complete fraud and hoax, but I'll pay the... where are we at with gold? We're still doing fine with that, right? 32 gold pieces? Yeah, I'm okay paying 2 gold for possibly getting a little hint about what's coming up. Looking into a crystal ball, she seems to go into a trance. She tells you they're searching for a man, a wise man with magical powers. She pauses for a moment and then draws in a deep breath before going on to tell you that the man you are looking for lives in a hut beneath a bridge to the north. She warns you to be careful when approaching the man, for he does not welcome strangers. Then she looks away from the crystal ball and abruptly asks you to leave. Her face seems to be hiding something. Has she seen some dreadful fate awaiting you? You decide to leave the tent and head north. Indeed, I do. At the end of the market, a street named Bridge Street runs north out of the square. You decide to walk down it in hope of finding the elusive Nicodemus. It starts to rain, and the tumble-down houses huddled together on either side of the street look as if they need shelter themselves. Most have their windows boarded up and are empty, but the door to one flaps noisily in the wind. Shall we take refuge in the derelict house until the rain stops, or shall we press on ahead? Let's see what's going on in the derelict house. It's a gloomy house, but you can make out the shapes of abandoned furniture. Litter and rubble is strewn all over the floor. You find a broken chair and slump down in it to rest. Suddenly you notice something slither across the floor, and before you can get to your feet, you see in the half-light that you're encircled by 6 snakes, each a meter long. Shall we attack them with our sword, or shall we make a dash for the door? Bet we should have probably got those boots, huh? Those are probably magical, speedy dashing away from snakes' boots. Let's try the dash for the door, and I'm sure we're going to get into a fight if that doesn't work. You leap over the snakes and run for the door. Test your luck. Well, thanks to that guy with the lyre, we've got some extra luck kicking around here, hopefully. 8 or below. Rolled a 9. Oh, well. We are unlucky. One of the snakes strikes out and bites you on the leg. You feel the effects of the venom creeping through your body. You lose 4 stamina points. You manage to hobble to the door. Still alive and fling the door open to escape. Outside, the rain has stopped. Oh, at least it's a nice day. You set off north again. Where does that put us in terms of... we still have 12 stamina. That's not nothing right now. I was going to do a provisions, but let's just sit on that for a little while. All right. Ahead you see a wooden bridge stretching over a dirty river. Various bits of rubbish are floating down the sea on its black surface, and you squirm at the sight of a human hand passing by. The bridge supports and columns reach high above you, and you see skulls, both human and non-human, tied to them. The wind makes an eerie noise as it whistles through the bridge structure, reminding you of tortured souls crying out for help. Almost hidden from view is a small flight of steps going down underneath the bridge from where you are standing. A one-legged man carrying a sack is crossing the bridge from the northern bank. Shall we talk to the one-legged man or climb down the steps? What if the one-legged man is Nicodemus? Let's talk to the one-legged man. The gaunt-faced man looks thoroughly miserable. He sees you and shrinks back, telling you that it's not worth robbing him because he has no money. Telling you do not wish to rob him, but you are seeking an old wizard named Nicodemus. He stares at you with a surprised expression on his face and says, "For 2 gold pieces, I'll tell you where he is." I know he's right under the bridge, sir. I know he's right under the bridge. All you're going to tell me is, you're right there. Yeah, I'm not falling for this one. I may be pretty free and easy with the money, but although apparently we don't have an option to do otherwise. I was going to say I was just going to refuse him, but no, apparently we have to pay him. You decide to trust the man and pay him for his information. He definitely seems like a local. This is exactly what I thought he was going to say. He pockets the gold and says, "You are standing on top of him." Nicodemus lives in a hut underneath this bridge. He throws back his head and lets out a shrill laugh before hobbling off on his crutches, obviously pleased with himself. You shake your head and walk over to the steps that lead down to the bridge. The smell by the water's edge is terrible. Above you hear the sound of footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundations of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct your view into the small building, but you know that you are not welcome when you read the words "Keep Out" painted on the door in large red letters. You draw in a deep breath and knock on the door. You hear muttering and the shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before you stands a white-haired old man with a long beard, wearing long white robes. He looks at you sternly and says, "Explain yourself to Nicodemus." You are elated at finding Nicodemus and tell him about Zanbar Bone's reign of terror in the town of Silverton, and why Mayor Owen Caroliff asked you to find his old friend to help them. Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside his hut, beckoning you to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to talk in a calm voice. "I am old and tired, and wish for no more adventure. I live here under the Singing Bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas for aid from people fallen on hard times. Hence no one bothers me. But I do wish to help my old friend Owen. I will tell you how to defeat the Night Prince Zanbar Bone. Listen carefully." Nicodemus lights his pipe, and after a moment with it in his mouth, his eyes distant in deep thought, he exhales a billowing blue cloud and continues, "The Night Prince can only be defeated after sunset. In daylight hours he exists on another plane. No doubt he will have his servants to protect him, but should you get past them, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect you from his entrancing stare, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead. Normal weapons will not harm him. First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow." I knew silver was important. I knew there was a reason I picked up that silver. "This will paralyze him, but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and a lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he will decay before you in a matter of seconds. Whereas if your arrow misses, I'm afraid you will die the moment he touches you." With this, Nicodemus taps out the ash from his pipe onto the bare floorboards. "The items for the compound can be found in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough, but I regret that I cannot accompany you." Nicodemus then draws you a map of how to reach Zanbar Bone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up, shakes your hand, and wishes you well. Leaving his hut, you climb the steps and cross the bridge over Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. Now, do we go west down Harbor Street or east down Candle Street? Let's try Candle Street. That sounds delightful. On the right side of the street, you see a small alleyway between 2 houses. The alley soon ends a door with 6 skulls painted on it. 1 black, 5 white. We walk down the alley and open the skull door? Sure, why not? Oh, this guy doesn't look fun. You enter a small candlelight room with no windows. It's empty apart from a table and 2 chairs. A man wearing black robes and a skull cap is standing in the corner. He smiles and asks you to sit down at the table. Can I just say no and leave? That's probably not an option, I would imagine. He sits opposite you, and after placing 6 white pills on top of 6 skulls on the table, he looks up to you and says, "One of the pills before you is deadly poisonous. The others are harmless. Swallow one of your choice. If you live, I will give you 20 gold pieces. If you die, I keep all of your possessions." I think we're probably not going to play this deadly game. That sounds terrible, because I can only imagine he's going to cheat. And that, in fact, 5 of them are poisonous and 1 of them isn't. So, no. And I can't imagine what I would get from this guy apart from 20 gold pieces. He's not giving me any of the vital ingredients that I need for Zanbar Bone. So, no, we're going to leave. We're out of here. You leave the house and return to the junction. Where shall we go next? Down Candle Street or Harbor Street? Well, can we go... Is there anything else to Candle Street apart from... Okay, there is. Walking along the street, you are suddenly halted by a plant pot smashing on the cobblestones in front of you. You look to the left and see an open window. Inside, voices can be heard arguing. The door to the house is open. You could enter the house to find out what the argument is about, or decide to mind your own business and continue east. No, I'm absolutely going to barge in and investigate this domestic affair. You enter the house and find yourself standing in a room full of toys, but they are not ordinary toys. These are stuffed creatures with nails through their heads, dolls' houses that are made up to look as if they are on fire, and many other unpleasant objects. In the middle of the room stand 2 old women dressed as though they were little girls. They are squabbling over a carved wooden duck. Each looks eager to destroy the duck with the knives they are holding. On seeing you, the women both start to shout, "Give us toys! Give us toys!" You may either give them something from your haversack, or leave these strange old ladies and continue east. Well, what would they want from my haversack? Okay, I've got a bunch of things in here that I could potentially give them. Oh, look at all these things I potentially missed. I suppose I could have potentially given them the butcher's hook. Lantern? Maybe. I could give them the throwing knife. I don't have any great love for that. I'm keeping the iron spike and the lantern. And that's about all I've got. Let's see if they want the throwing knife. The women immediately start arguing again over your gift to them. Ignoring you completely, you look around the room and see a table set for a meal. There are 2 bowls of hot soup on the table waiting to be drunk. We drink some soup or just leave? I think we're just going to leave. I was hoping that this might get us the hag's hair that we need, because they're old women who are terrible. But apparently not. Eventually the street comes to a dead end at a high stone wall. There are stone steps leading to the top of the wall. On the other side of the wall, you can hear grunts, growls, and cheering. Do we wish to climb over the wall to hear the grunts, growls, and cheering, or should we go back down Harbor Street? Let's go to Harbor Street. Let's see what's going on there. You pass a beggar in the street. He is sitting in the gutter and holds an empty tin in his hand. Yeah, we'll toss a gold piece at him, sure. Beggar tips his hat in gratitude and mumbles a few words. You gain 1 luck point. Oh, that's nice. A narrow alleyway runs off south off the street between the 2 houses. You investigate the alleyway? Well, we should investigate every sort of nook and cranny in Port Blacksand, because we've got a lot of ingredients to put together here. So yes, we will investigate the alleyway. Ahead, the alleyway is strewn with rubbish and discarded possessions. Suddenly you hear a growling and you see movement amongst the rubbish. You draw your sword just in time as 2 wild dogs, each 1.5 meters long, leap at you. Okay, off we go. Okay, they're 4 stamina, 4 skill. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. In fact, I'm not even... With my 10 skill, I'm not even 100% sure they can hit me at all. I think this is an auto win here. Yep, we defeated him. Yeah, the best they could roll would be a 10, and the worst I can roll is an 11. So, no, we're not going to escape. We'll just kill this other dog. That's fine. Yep, problem solved. Problem solved. Yes, we have defeated the beasts. Did you purchase golden flowers from the florist, Mrs. Pipe, back on Clock Street? No. No, I didn't. I didn't go to Clock Street yet. No, I did not. There's nothing to be found in the alleyway. So you're saying there would be something to be found in the alleyway if we had purchased those flowers. All right. We turn to Harbor Street and turn left. Ahead of you, you hear the noisy clatter of galloping hooves on the cobblestones. You hear the noise of wooden wheels and an urging voice, followed by the crack of the whip. Someone is rapidly approaching in a horse-drawn carriage. I think this guy's going to mow us down. I think this guy is completely going to mow us down. So let's not stay to see who it is. Let's just hide out of sight behind a barrel. Carriage thunders by you and see its driver urging on the 4 horses as though his life depended on it. As the noise of the carriage fades into the distance, you step onto the street and continue west. Yeah, that guy wasn't stopping for us. That probably would have just mowed us right down. The street gradually starts to run downhill. The house at the end at a tavern called the Black Lobster, and the street opens out into a quayside. A stone jetty runs out to sea, and tied to it is an old galleon. It is flying the Skull and Crossbones, and it's probably one of the many pirate ships that anchor in Port. Let's try that one more time. It is flying the Skull and Crossbones, and is probably one of the many pirate ships to that anchor in Port. What are you doing to me, Ian Livingstone? In Port Blacksand to offload their booty. Harbor Street turns right at the jetty and runs north parallel to the shore as far as you can see. We walk down the jetty and climb aboard the ship, or walk up Harbor Street. I'm not necessarily opposed to sneaking onto a pirate ship. You know what? We need a black pearl. I bet if I was looking for a black pearl, a pirate ship might be a pretty good place to start. A rope ladder hangs down from the stern of the ship to the jetty. There's also a gangplank leading up the side of the ship. We can board the ship by climbing the rope, or walk straight up the gangplank. No, let's be a little subtle about this and use the rope ladder. You reach the top of the ladder and peer over the handrail to survey the ship's deck. There are 2 large masts rising into the air from the deck. Wooden boxes, barrels, and coils of rope lie all around, and one of the ship's crew stands on guard at the top of the gangplank. Well, good thing we didn't walk right up the gangplank. In the center of the deck, there's a small cabin with an open door. Through the door, you see stairs leading down to the lower decks. If you wish to inspect any of the wooden boxes and barrels, you will have to deal with the pirate on guard, or you could try creeping along the side of the deck to the stairs. Let's try sneaking in first before we get in a fight. The stairs lead down into the ship's cargo hold. It is empty. Opposite you, a corridor leads from the hold to 2 closed doors. You walk along the corridor and listen at the doors. From the door on your left, you hear loud snoring. From the door on your right, you hear nothing. Well, let's go investigate the sleeping pirate. Oh, 3 sleeping pirates. Oh, goodness. Asleep in their bunks are 3 pirates. Their room is small and contains only clothing and a few personal possessions. It looks as if the pirates have been drinking and gambling. There's an uncorked bottle of rum, a mug, and a pack of cards on top of a barrel in the center of the room. You notice that one of the pirates is wearing a small leather pouch around his neck. I think we should absolutely try and creep up and cut it loose. It's pirates. There's got to be something good in there. Test your luck. You edge forward, trying to sneak close enough to the pirate and rob him without waking any of them up. Come on, give me a good roll here, please. I think that's good. Yes, we are lucky. Excellent. We are absolutely lucky. You managed to cut the pouch loose without waking the pirates. You tiptoe quietly out of the room and close the door. In the corridor, you open the pouch and find 6 black pearls. Perfect. What did I say? Black pearl, go to the pirate ship every time. Gain 2 luck points. May open the right-hand door or can leave the ship and continue. You know what? Let's just let's leave while the going's good. Let's just get out of here. We got what we needed. I don't want to push my luck on the pirate ship. So let's get off the pirate ship, and we will do that next time in City of Thieves. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time.